Hey everybody, welcome back to the Ability 411. It's Monday, and I'm Tiffany. So, hi, welcome back. I missed you guys. It's been like forever since I did one of these, and I kind of like had to reintroduce myself to iMovie. Didn't I forgot how to do one of these. But yeah, I'm back, and it's kind of cool. I was excited. Um, I have to apologize for the lighting in here because I was setting up and gonna do it, and it was like, holy crap, I look white because I'm not this white, but white walls, it's bright in here, and then like dark hair, and yeah, so I'm sorry that after this much time of absence you guys have to come back to this. Oh, and this. Yeah. I did not have a makeup malfunction. I'm recovering from a black eye. You guys should have seen it a few days ago. This happened last Friday. Well, 2 Fridays ago now. It was quite ugly. Today's the third day that I've had makeup on because the stereo strips just fell off. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get up there and see it, but that little thingy right there, it's got lots of vitamin E on it. But that is what caused all of this kabacle. Yep. And had 4 stitches in there. And yeah. And I'm just gonna give a shout out right now because she was my saving grace, Dr. Amy Ping at Cedar Sinai. If you ever bust your face open, go to the ER and request her because I've had lots of stitches everywhere on my body over my 30 years plus years on this earth, and this is the most amazing stitch job I've ever had. So thank you. So let's get into this week's topic because we have a viewer that wrote in and they want us to answer a question. And then after I get into the topic, I'll kind of tell you what I've been doing. So, because I really want to get into this week's topic. I'm kind of excited about it. Alright, I gotta get into it. Oh yeah, and I gotta address something. Facebook has been screwy lately with its changing around and stuff like that. So, if you message us on the fan page and we don't answer you back, it's probably because we didn't get it. I've had a couple people send me a message on my personal page saying, we sent you a message asking a question, we didn't get a response. It's because we didn't get it, or I didn't get it. I answer every question that I get, whether it be on the 411 page or on my personal page. So please, 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 if you don't get a response on the 411 page, send it to me on my personal page or one of the other crew. We're here to answer your questions. That's why we're doing this. So if there's somebody you feel more comfortable with, send it directly to them. Okay, so we had a viewer write in and ask us a question. And basically she wanted to know why there is more stuff out there for people that have mental disabilities and less for just physical disabilities. And part 2 of her question was she's also tired of the government cutting the disability funding. Me too. I'm going to answer part 1 of your question and go back and answer part 2 of your question. I think it all has to do with awareness, basically. It's what it boils down to. And it all goes back to ye olden times. And I'm not talking about the 17th and 18th century. I'm talking about the 1970s, 1960s, when people with basically any type of disability got grouped in together. Whether you had a spinal cord injury, whether you had a mental disability, whether you had CP, MS, whatever you had, you got grouped into one box, one category. And people back then thought that it had something to do with your noggin. You have your mental disabilities and then you have your physical disabilities. And, you know, I know so many people who have a mental disability who are incredibly smart. They are starting their own foundations. They are actors. They are performers. They are changing the way this world works. And the only thing that is wrong with them is that on an IQ level is if a normal person is a normal person, if the standard person is here, they might be there. And that's it. And I don't get it. And that is why they're quote unquote deemed mentally disabled. I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't think that there's been enough exposure for people with physical disabilities, namely people with spinal cord injuries. I think spinal cord injuries are still such a relatively new area for people. We're people in our community are really just like coming out. We're coming out. And just really starting to take hold of society now and being like, hey, we're able to live among you and be active, productive members of society, and we've been doing this for a long time. You just haven't paid attention. And we want to be included in your world. And we're beautiful, we're capable, we're mothers, we're fathers, we're we're doctors, we're lawyers, we're everybody that participates in society. You just aren't looking. Okay, part 2 of your question. You're tired of government cutting all the disability funding. That makes 2 of us. I don't totally rely on government funding, but I do for a few of my things, like my insurance. But even then that doesn't cover a lot of stuff, but it covers enough that, it'll help me with my grandparents. And I'm more pissed about this because of my cousin. My cousin's autistic, and she goes to an ESL school, and they hire special ed teachers to come in and teach these kids. And I say these kids. I can say that because those kids are fucking amazing. Pardon me because I cuss, but they're amazing. I have nothing but respect for those kids. I mean, those kids are here, and those other kids that go to that school are there. And I can say that. I spent some time with those kids. But anyway, in the state of Florida, the first thing I got cut was the aids that help the kids. And you have to realize that for an autistic child, the simple mundane task of getting off the bus to go to class is hard. It's a hard task. Or walking from class to class. You need aides for that. You need somebody that's going to help you make sure that your kid gets to class or it's not hurt in the hallway. Because bullying is still a factor in school. It's a stupid factor, but it's still a factor. And what's the first thing that gets cut? These wonderful people that make sure that these kids don't get hurt. So yeah, I'm pretty ticked off about the government funding for the disability community getting cut, because that's, she falls under being disabled. I don't see her being disabled because she's one of the brightest kids I know, but she does fall into that category because of her autism. And her school funding, which in my opinion should never be cut. I think everybody in America, a free country, should be afforded an education, is getting cut. Nowadays, with the technology we have, it's really not that difficult to make something accessible. I mean, it really isn't. Like, it's just not. I mean, it's putting a couple extra inches on a door, or making something flatter, or putting a couple, pounds of dirt in somewhere, or putting extra couple pounds of concrete in somewhere. It's really not that hard to make something more accessible. Oh. It's finally getting dark in here. I had to pause because it was just so bright and it was hurting my eyeballs. What have I been up to? I have been doing a few odds and ends, a little bit of work here and there. I have a photo shoot coming up as soon as this heals, which I'm super stoked about. I have an audience today, so you might hear a little smirk. And you might get something thrown at you or see something get thrown back. We just got back from San Francisco. We drove up there for the weekend or the night or whatever. It was a quick trip. It was a fun trip. But yeah, it was a good time. What else? Just kind of hanging out right now. Just enjoying life. But I wanted to leave you guys with a quote. And this is a really cool quote. And this guy is pretty rad. So, and it's just simply, life would be tragic if it weren't funny. And that's kind of like a quote I live by, and it's by Stephen Hawking. If you don't know who he is, go look him the hell up. And you should know who he is. If you're watching this channel, you should know who he is. And if you don't, shame on you. But it's getting dark, as you can see. And I'm gonna go spend some time. Spending some time. Yeah. So I will talk to you guys later, and you're gonna see me a lot more. I promise. So I hope you guys having a beautiful week. I think I've said that already, but I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna give a special kiss this week to Ray G. Mwah. That's for you, bud, because you always comment on my kisses, so that one's for you. Alright guys, see you later.